You're watching TVC Breakfast Saturday. It's time now to take a look at another leg of what's trending, and this time around is the newspaper review. Both Emmanuels are still here with me, and we shall look through all the big stories that made it to the front pages of the major newspapers before us. I start off with Saturday Punch. Saturday Punch has a splash of stories. The main is that the latest on the certificate saga, of course, involving the president and his main rival following the presidential election. That's Atiku Abubakar. Well, the presidency is saying that Atiku is desperate as the former vice president submits Tinubu's Chicago varsity record. Says the president committed perjury by submitting a fraudulent certificate to INEC. The presidency says the former president is the former vice president is chasing shadows. An aide also alleges that Atiku is desperate to embarrass Tinubu. Other stories there prove allegations of fake credentials against me, this time from Nobel laureate Wole Soyinka, who is addressing his accusers. On Naira Marley, it is said that the Malian president is cooling off at Panti's D4. Down there on Saturday Punch, DSS officers slapped, threatened to kill me for defending my client. Private comforters, that should be an interesting read, and it talks about a thriving world of professional coddlers. On Mobad, police indict prime boy, friend, killer nurse in singer's death. And finally, auxiliary nurses are quacks employed by clinics for cheap labor. That's a new angle. It's also been a worrying trend, and this is from a relevant body. That's the Nigerian Association of Nurses and Midwives. Gentlemen, all right, there's so much. This certificate saga has been in the news, and attention is about to move to the Supreme Court, where Atiku is pressing on with his challenges to the election, saying that he will present this new evidence, alleging a forged certificate on the part of President Bola Tinubu.
The onus lies on the former Vice President Atiku Abubakar to prove beyond reasonable doubt if truly the president forged those certificates. You recall that the Chicago State University did confirm that the president indeed attended that university. So in law, it's not just coming out with evidence. You must be able to prove beyond every
well, it's
doubt.
Interesting how the Supreme Court would address this if it's going to be seen as a pre-election matter, because this is now looking at the eligibility of the president to have even contested the election. How this would invalidate the election result, it would also be interesting to see. But we'll keep our fingers crossed. Let's look at other papers quickly.
Right.
Before we go, let's quickly look at the story of the DSS.
All right, let's check if it will come up again in the Daily Independent, as Emmanuel will.
Well, Saturday Independent is our next paper, and that's where we would be reviewing. The major headline says feuds between governors, deputies may linger, as according to analysts, and discord, a constitutional creation by Professor Njoku, and corruption root of clashes. That's another opinion from Anakwe. Well, of course, certificate issue is still also generating lots of interest in the papers. Saturday Independent says Presidency explains why Tinubu's certificate carries female identity. And Afe Babalola accuses governors of stealing council funds, urges president to pay local government directly. And another interesting story on the front page of the Saturday Independent, era of the Gen Z body, while Ilebaye was destined to win BB Niger All-Stars. And that's a very interesting one. I mean, on the show, we always review, especially our entertainment desk, was always keeping up with the BB Niger All-Stars, and I'm sure they would have some update for us.
Definitely. And you recall that she said that she's still a virgin, even at 22.
Well, it's,
and Nigerians are indeed doubting
well, okay.
how true that is.
Well,
Let's keep that.
that's a conversation
Let's keep
we should.
that
You are what you say you
chill.
are. So,
Let's keep that.
but let's just
chill.
wrap up with what we have here, and this is very interesting. At the bottom of Saturday Independent, abductors collect
Yeah, I
50
saw that.
million naira. Release kidnapped CSA members in Nondo.
No, very sad.
That's a very sad one, Emmanuel.
Sad development there. And this calls question about the issue of insecurity in Nigeria. And the president is indeed taking his stand to ensure that Nigeria is safe for everyone to live in. Let's quickly go on now to the front page of Leadership Weekend. And oil marketers claim petrol subsidy has returned. How true that story is, get to the front page of the Leadership Weekend, page 4 there. Accuse FJ NMPC of sabotaging PIA. No plan to rise PMS price. NMPC, they're talking. All right, nurse assistant, prime suspect in Mohbad's death. That's coming from police, page 7 there of the Leadership Weekend. Nigeria well positioned to benefit from the $527 billion US data market. That's coming from Dambata. Mentally retarded man kills 8, maims 7.
Right.
That's from the Leadership Weekend this morning. More stories on the front page.
All right, you can get all the details of all these stories and more on the newspapers. You could get all the latest and, go online or buy copies to be up to date on all this information.